Hi, I'm Sandy Schroeck for LBR Educates, and today we're going to take a look at this upcoming style that we're seeing a lot of influence on it. It has the Bohemian influence, and it's kind of the unarranged look. So today I'm using the Jardiniere from Syndicate Sales. There's a new collection that comes in a tuxedo collection that has a matte gray, white, and black in there. So I feel like that's a good everyday container we're going to be able to use to make this style. And so you can see some of the pieces where we've got some of the different flowers all done in groupings, couple pairs, singles throughout, and just really kind of giving that unarranged look. And then also having the hug. So I just call it like how it comes up both sides. But it is one of those things that's like beauty and imperfection. So let's take a look at making this. So one of the keys to creating this design successfully is to first start off with a frame. So we're really going to set the frame of the exterior first, and then come in and start filling in our flowers. So I've used half a brick of foam here, and I have used the tension hold to hold it in so I don't have to tape it in, and it just goes in. So we're gonna just create that frame. You can see, and using here the sweet huck is a spring foliage that comes in, and so you can see how easily we can kind of pull that together. And then I'm going to reinforce the frame with some of my greens and floral materials. So once you've got the frame established, then the next thing would be to start with some of your larger elements to reinforce that frame. So today I'm using a mauve stock that we sell here at Lem Bush. Really, really beautiful color. Gets kind of those dusty colors that we're seeing right now happen. And the rose we're going to use today is called Moab, and that's another one in those great dusky tones that everybody's craving now. But so there you can see I've just got some of those components in. So one of the tricks to this at the end is to actually have it look unarranged, which for some designers, including myself, is a little bit tough to do because I am so used to first establishing one piece going one direction and really pulling everything into a focal. So the middle in this design is actually kind of sunk in, that you look into it. But as we put our floral materials in, we're going to be putting them in groupings. So you can see there some of the LBR grown Dianthus being a dominant accent there. And then I'm going to come off the back side with some Dianthus. So kind of repeating the colors front to back, color families, and just drawing through your eye through that design. So another newer product that we're carrying are micro palms. And so here we're going to use these as a little accent and come in. But sometimes there's new colors in carnations and chrysanthemums and new styles that the breeders invent, and take advantage of those, because what it does is brings a long-lasting component into your design work so that you have ultimate customer satisfaction, because your arrangements last a very long time, and yet they're different enough that it's not the plain white daisy. So it does have visual interest to be able to add into that design and add a little bit extra value of something unique. So again, I'm staying away from the middle on this design. So I've got a little bit of lavender And this, we're gonna make sure and use the tops and the bottoms on these. So we wanna use that stem foliage as well. Very fragrant. And so I've got the pieces here. I'm gonna utilize that just like a foliage piece. So we didn't put a lot of foliage in the beginning because I don't wanna invest the labor into that. We will come back at the end and make sure that our foam is covered for professional application of mechanics. So this lavender, we want it to be up right in people's faces, kind of as they're looking down into the design, so they get that fragrance. So fragrance is one of our elements of design that people are craving a little bit more. And so to add a component in that adds that into your design work, adds that extra little touch that can set you apart. All right, so now I think we're ready to do some things down in lower in the middle. And I am going to come in with a little bit of gunny uke. And this is the bonsai uke, also known as gunny uke. I'm just going to put one piece in there so that way I'm going to be putting in one of the Fantasy Island peach ball chrysanthemums. And those have a tendency to shatter. So we want to get the things, mechanics covered underneath them first. So I've got one of the premium spray roses, and that one's Peach Isle. And then we're gonna come in and do some groupings of the Pomponi Gerb that's grown here in Minnesota. So high petal count, and it's very dahlia-like. So we're gonna come in with those two in a grouping in one area, and some raspberry scoops. So come in, I'm gonna put those Moab roses in. It's hard for me not to put it down in the focal area. So you can see we have those in a less dominant place. And then we're gonna come in with some textural elements with the peach Hypericum. Okay, and then the raspberry scoops, a little bit of a form flower, and so we're gonna have those dancing off to the other side. And then lastly coming in with those Fantasy Island peach ball chrysanthemums. And those are gonna go low down into the center so that you have that transparency coming through the arrangement. So the arrangement ends up to be all the way around. And then we're gonna just finish up with some of the Grevillea and also some of the gunny uke. Has nice little breaks on it, so we're able to use those different side shoots and just come in, look to see where we can see foam, and go in with that eucalyptus. Adds that earth line into this design, bringing your eye down onto the container. The gray tone foliage in this case ties together really well with the gray tones that are coming off of this jardiniere. You can see as I'm using this, I'm taking some pieces and laying one piece over the other to be able to get a little bit more of an impactful grouping as I'm going in. So I'm gonna take 3 insertions, make it 1, and then spread it out. And so here you can see some of our completed designs. So similar flowers, similar looks, but that unarranged look, you can see that there's differences between these designs. And that's the way I really sell it for like an event work, not to have everything exactly the same so that you have visual interest throughout. So I'm Sandy Schroeck for LBR Educates, and this has been our Bohemian influence design. And I hope I inspired you to create some fabulous florals.